Hello and welcome back to Buzz Banter. I'm Mo, and I bring to you the first episode of our new segment, Buz Duels. Basically, Tom and I are going to be watching a new release. One of us will tear it apart, one of us will defend it. And so for our inaugural episode, I will be defending the new Superman film. Brought to you by Zack Snyder, there's a very stylistic retake on the Superman origin story. You start off on Krypton, which is very well rendered, very well done, and you find out a couple more things about Krypton than you had in past films. Basically, Krypton was once a galaxy-spanning empire that, because of Planned Parenthood, started regressing and is now back down to just the planet. Basically, and this is a core theme of the film, what the Kryptonians started doing was taking genetic information from both parents, manipulating it so that the child could fulfill an assigned role, and then artificially creating that child. And then when they were born, the parents would raise the kid and they would fit snugly within their place in society. Why is this important? It's the difference between Clark Kent and Zod. Clark Kent, or Superman, is the first natural birth in Krypton in the last several centuries on Krypton. And the reason behind that is his father feels that because of this structured society, they've lost the ability to move forward. They've stagnated. And as a result of that stagnation, their planet is dying. Basically, they're not moving forward. They've just been consuming their own resources. And in desperation for continuing power, they tap into the planet's core, thus causing the destruction of their own world. So he has a natural born son and sends him out into the stars going, you can be what you want to be. Versus that with Zod. Zod is really interesting in this film because, well, he's not a megalomaniac. He's not out to conquer. He's not out to rule. He was basically born and bred to protect the Kryptonian people. And that's it. There's no other purpose to his life at all. And as a result of that, he's willing to take the most extreme measures to accomplish those ends. So long as he is able to defend the Kryptonian people as the legitimate head of the military, he does. When he finds that the ruling council is willing to just sit by and let Krypton die, he moves against them in the military coup that has him sent to the Phantom Zone. When they arrive at Earth and he finds that he can create another Krypton on Earth, he's fully willing to commit genocide because all he's about, all he's been bred to do, is protect the Kryptonian people and their way of life. And he will continue to do so in the face of come heaven or hell. It makes for a very interesting and complex villain, and is a marked improvement over the previous times that we've seen the character. So let's talk about Clark. You see him at a couple of points in his life, essentially as he's finding out who and what he is, but also through his childhood when he's trying to make sense of his powers and trying to live with them. This is where another major strength of the film comes, and it's actually the same strength that the Amazing Spider-Man had: proper parental figures. In the previous Superman film, the Christopher Reeve ones, you saw that his parents just kind of dote on him. There's no real consequences to anything that he does because, well, how exactly are you going to slap a kid who can bench press the house? Instead, his adoptive father gives him a little bit of a lecture, but everything's all right. There's no real issues. Everything's very nice and sunshiny on the farm. In this, however, you have his father and his adoptive parents paying attention to what his problems are and trying to help him through them as best they can. And more importantly, they're strict with him when they need to be. You see on several occasions that his adoptive father continues to kind of lecture him and warn him and all of this stuff. He even goes so far as in order to protect his son, he dies. He refuses to let Clark save him, even though Clark can. And the reason why this is important is, again, another strength of the film. The film deals with for a good section of it, what Clark means to humanity. And this is the difference between DC and Marvel Comics. It's been said before that Marvel has characters, DC has icons. The Superman character is an icon because, as you see in the trailer, he stands as a paragon and he's sent to essentially lead humanity by example into great wonders, to inspire us to greatness. But the issue is, are we ready for that? And that's something that the film approaches on several occasions. What the human reaction is to having an alien presence that's this powerful amongst us. Be it out to conquer us or to help us. How would we react? And are we ready for that? Now, the film doesn't go too deep into it because, of course, it can't. It needs to entertain the audience. It's not a university lecture. So on we go to the action and the special effects, both of which very well done. If you ever wanted to see a realistic Dragon Ball Z fight done well, watch this movie. The fight between General Zod and Superman is very well done. The fight between Superman and the other Kryptonians is very well done. The fight between the Kryptonians and the human soldiers, again, very well done. I can't point out anything that's really that bad. It all meshes together very well. And it makes sense. The movie makes a fair bit of sense beginning to end. Everyone's reason for being where they are makes sense, which you don't get too often. There's one or two little plot holes. There's one or two little instances of characters being used as a plot device, which Lois Lane comes up, but I have to say, I like this rendition of Lois Lane. It was far better than you saw in the Christopher Reeves film, where she was just kind of this shrieky, really irritating, why is anyone listening to you character. She's got her Pulitzer Prize for being on from reporting on frontline combat, and she is a well-respected news source. It makes sense why she is where she is, and her relationship with Clark is fairly well done throughout this film. She's kind of the first person outside of his family that he reaches out to, and it should be interesting seeing what they do with that relationship in movies going forward, because they changed it up from what it used to be, and I kind of like what they've done with it now. Overall, the film does have its problems, which Tom is no doubt talking your ear off on in the accompanying video. Overall, the new Superman film gets 3 out of 5 stars. It is definitely worth watching. It's a highly entertaining film. Not a flawless film, but definitely an entertaining one. And we finally have a good match for the 1970s version. So, that's it for Buz Duels. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, Buz Banter, and keep watching us for other segments along with our usual show. We also have a podcast up on buzzbanter.com, and don't forget to follow us on our parent website, boxofficebuzz.com. Until next time, I'm Mo, and I will see you when I see you.